Good morning, everyone. We are continuing our math lesson in page 335 with more volume. More volume. So this is a page to review whether we are taking the perimeter or the area or the volume and making sure that you know how to do that. Remember, perimeter is adding all of the sides. So here we would make sure that we had 2 4s and 2 6.5s. And we would add them all up. Or like they did, you could multiply 6.5 times 2, 4 times 2, and then add those. It's the same. Area, remember we're just multiplying length times width. We want to multiply these two sides. Volume, remember we did this yesterday and we multiply all three together. Length, width, height. Okay? So for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, you are finding the perimeter and the area. So let's do a couple of these together. So for the perimeter of number 1, we would want 2 6s. So 6 plus 6 plus 3 plus 3. And I would add all those up, and really it's 3 6s, right? Because 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. So then I would wind up with 18 meters, and then that would be squared. Squared. Actually, no, it would not be. It would be plain meters. The area is the one that's squared. And area would be 6 times 3, which would equal 18. Now that's interesting. That turns out to be the same. It's not always going to be the same. And that would be 18 meters squared. Don't forget to put your little squared symbol up here. Okay? Now for this one, it would be 9 plus 9. Plus 5.5 plus 5.5 equals, so 9 plus 9 is 18, and 5.5 plus 5.5 would be 11, right? Because 5 and 5 is 10, and then 2 halves would make another 1, so that would give me 11. So 11 plus 18 is 29 centimeters. And then area would be 9 times 5.5. And we know that when we're doing that, remember we don't consider the decimal at all until the very end. So let's say I put it up here. So 5.5 times 9. 9 times 5 is 45. Carry my 4. 9 times 5 is 45, plus another 4 is 49. And I would have one decimal point. So that would mean that my answer down here would be 49 and 5/10 centimeters. And then you would not forget your little squared symbol there. Okay? So do you understand how you're adding all the sides for perimeter and then multiplying for area? You're going to do that for all 4 of these, okay, the remaining ones. Now at the bottom, it's find the volume. So this is what we did yesterday, multiplying all 3. So all we do is 3 times 4 times 5. 3 times 4 times 5 equals 4 times 5 is 20. 20 times 3 is 60 meters, and that would actually be, remember when we do volume, it's going to be cubed. So we put a little 3 above the meter sign. So for this one, it's going to be 6 times 3 times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 6 is 36 centimeters cubed. And then your last one, 7 times 2 times 4 equals 4 times 2 is 8. 7 times 8 is 56 inches cubed. Got it? Now you're going to go back and fill in these 4 that we did not do together. And then the back gives you more word problems to understand the difference, okay? Liz and Mom measured the lawn so they could buy materials to reseed it. The lawn measured 90 feet by 120 feet. Liz calculated the area of the lawn in order to find out the amount of grass seed she would need. What is the area of the lawn? So to find the area, we are going to multiply 120 times 90. And to do that, I know that I would have 2 zeros on the end of 12 times 9. So 12 times 9 is 108, and then I would add 2 zeros to the back of that. So the area of the lawn is 10,800 feet, and because that's area, I would need to put a square there. 1 pound of Bermuda grass seed will cover 1,000 square feet of lawn. How many pounds of seed will they need? Okay, so 1 pound will do 1,000. So we have how many thousands? 10, but we have more than 10. So 10 pounds is not going to be enough. We're going to need how many bags? 11 pounds. Because 10 would not quite be enough. Liz measured the planter on the porch. It was 6 feet by 3 feet by 1 foot. She filled the planter with 6 inches of potting soil and 3 inches of mulch. Find the cubic feet of potting soil and mulch Liz used. Okay, so the potting soil, she did. All right, this was the whole planter. She filled the planter with 3 inches of mulch and 6 inches of potting soil. So it was a foot deep. So the potting soil was 6 inches. So a foot is 12 inches. So 6 inches is how much of 12? It's half. So we would do here, we would say 6 times 3 times 0.5 is how much potting soil she put in. So then when I multiply that, I get 6 times 3, which is 18, times 0.5 would be 9 feet. And if you understand that this is 18 and multiplying something times 0.5 is half, then it would be 9. That would make sense. So the mulch is going to be 6 times 3, and this one only had 3 inches, which is actually a quarter of 12, so 0.25. So when I multiply all that together, I get 4.5 feet, 4.5 feet. Okay, I hope you stayed with me on that one. That one was just a little bit confusing. Wesley and Dad need to order cement for the driveway. The driveway is 12 feet by 10 feet. The cement needs to be 6 inches thick. 6 inches thick. So we have 12 feet by 10 feet by, now this says feet, so be careful because they all have to be the same measurement. So they want it 6 inches thick, so that is 0.5 feet. That's half. Okay, so when I multiply those together, I get 12 times 10, which is 110, not 110, 120, and then times half, which would be taking half of 120, which would give me 60 feet. The cement company uses cubic yards. Change the cubic feet to cubic yards. So How many yards are in a foot? Three, right? So 3, change the cubic feet. I think I would have to change the whole thing instead of just changing this. Change the cubic feet to cubic yards. Let's skip that one for now. I'm going to call us skipping that one. Whoop. Let's go to the next one. The cement company delivers by the cubic yard. How many yards will they need to deliver? We're going to skip that one too. And we're going to go on to the bottom. Find the volume of the figure. Look at all of these figures. These are some things that you might have mentioned in your comments. Shoeboxes would have volume. Aquariums would have volume. Suitcases would have volume. So find the volume of each by multiplying all three numbers. 12 times 7 times 5, 18 times 10 times 10, 30 times 10 times 20. Okay, good. Now, in the comments below, I want you to give me a short, it doesn't have to be very long, but a word problem that would mean that we would either need to find perimeter, area, or volume. So all word problems do are they're practicing your real life experiences. So what is the real life opportunity that we would need perimeter? What is a real life thing when we would need area? And you can look back at some of the examples on this page and some of the examples from our other math pages since you have them with you and change them a little bit to give me your own word problem. So give me a word problem that would either find perimeter, area, or volume.